I believe we're live.
I believe we're live.
We're live, baby. We are live. And it's Thursday. Woo-hoo. Ready to go. That's not the way it is now. It's not right. I don't know what it is. It's unique to you. Because we're live. I didn't post it like
You did it. Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning. How are you, folk? I could have worn a different color, actually.
Ooh, I got some good steps in. I just got my notice yesterday. I got steps in. I didn't realize it.
What are you talking about?
2,146 steps in.
In what?
In one day.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
What did you do that you got that many steps in yesterday?
I went to the supermarket.
Hey?
Don't try my thing.
I'm trying to think, because we sedentary now, pretty much.
Unfortunately, but I walked around the supermarket. I walked from the car to the supermarket. I actually moved about.
Yes, you did. All right, so good. Good morning to you guys. This is Thursday. My name is Brian McNeill, and this is...
I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And this is Let's Talk About It. You heard the intro. You know what we're doing here. We've been doing it since October of 2016, and we do have an interesting topic today.
Yes, we do have an interesting topic today. Thank you so much, Dr. Deborah. Thank you, Brittany. I have been trying to wait on my hair to come in the mail, and when it didn't come in the mail yesterday, I just decided to make it myself. And today our topic is the 10 reasons storytelling is important.
10 reasons why storytelling is important. We're going to try to go through this. Now, I often say there are two types of people that love stories. Only two types of people that love stories. One of them is children.
The other is...
It's demonstrably proven that children love stories. You get their attention by telling them stories. You get them to stop doing other things by telling them a story. If they're doing something you don't like, you start telling them a story, they turn in their chair to listen. Okay? Children love stories. And the other type of person that loves stories is adults. And we know that to be true because we have movies and television shows, and we can't stand to be continued. Because we want to know how the story ends.
Sometimes you'll even stay up late to see how the story ends.
Exactly. That's why, like watching a series, like one we're watching right now, For Life, they leave at a critical point where you don't know how the story ends, or the stories, and it can go either way. That entices us to want to watch another episode. Oh, we can't go to bed on that. We got to find out what happened.
Right.
The story, what compels. The story is what sells. Well, we're fishermen. Come with me. I'll make you fishers of men. A cool parable. By parable shall ye teach. So we're going to talk about what we come up with, 10 reasons why we believe that storytelling is important.
Absolutely. So 10 reasons why storytelling is important in no particular order.
Okay.
Number one, to share, well, it would be nice if that was spelled better, but to share information.
Yeah, share information. Let's see, I'll give us a story to share information about an event or how to do something.
Absolutely. If you tell it in a story, just like we how we learned to tie our shoes, right? To tie our shoes, the story was the bunny rabbit went around the barn, up, around, and through, right? That was the little mini story to illustrate how to get those strings around and through and pull it. As a matter of fact, I have a video of Jade telling the story while she was learning how to tie her.
Jade is now 13, I
She
think.
is now 13, and she was
what,
3.
4, 3?
Yeah.
When that happened?
Yeah.
One of Lisa's nieces.
Grandbabies.
Okay. Lisa's grandbabies, it's the same thing. But I didn't have the bunny rabbit story to tie shoes. You know, I was from Brooklyn. We didn't play like that in Brooklyn. We ain't had no bunny rabbit stories. Good morning. Was it Shayna? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Phyllis. How you doing, folks? Is that who else is here?
We got Brittany, Dr. Deborah is here already.
Good morning. How you guys
Absolutely.
doing?
Beverly's on. Good morning.
So we're going to talk about 10 reasons why storytelling is important. The first one was just to share information. Do it this way, and this way. That's fine. But does that stick? Does that compel? But if you tell it in a story,
it sticks better.
And it compels.
Absolutely.
What elements of a story you need? You need a conflict or a problem, solution, maybe have a person to be interested in. That makes a good story.
Right. And then outcome, a high to end on.
Yeah. Because even if for example, I always go back to the case of the movie The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis and a little kid. That movie was a snooze fest for 90% of the movie until the last 10% of the movie when I realized what was going on. Then the whole movie was better. That movie was a yawner until we discovered what was going on.
I love that movie.
The ending was great. That's what made the movie great.
I love the whole movie because I love watching Bruce Willis do anything. And that little boy was so compelling in the story. It was really, really good. Beverly says she never heard the bunny rabbit story.
Me neither.
Dr. Deborah said telling your story is actually the first step in the Get Free coaching program. Oh. Absolutely.
Notice what she said, telling whose story? Your story. So number one is to share information.
Absolutely.
We got 10, so we're going to boogie.
Absolutely. We're going to go a little bit faster today. The number 2 is to express values. To express values. When you're teaching your child about a value system in your family, why you treat people well, why you're nice, why you do these things, we often use stories. Sometimes we use allegory, and sometimes we use anthropomorphism to illustrate
animal stories.
To illustrate why it's important to be nice, to be patient, to be whatever those things.
To tell the truth. The story of the little boy who cried wolf. You know, when he really needed help, there was no help coming because he had cried wolf or told the lie too many times before. You know, that's a story with a meaning there, that a lesson, to transmute values, like Lisa just suggested.
Absolutely. And then, you ready? You want to go a little faster today?
Let's go.
Number 3 is to evoke emotion.
But always check the comments though. Evoke emotion. When I was going through my training to become what I consider the next great world speaker, one of the things they talked about is, can you make your audience feel? Can you evoke emotion? And the way you do that typically is with a personal story. But can you make them angry? Can you make them sad? Can you make them happy? Can you move them to want to take an action? And you need to find personal stories from your life that will cause those feelings.
Good morning, Mom. She said, good morning, Fluffy. I like my fluffy new hair piece.
Good morning, Sister Deborah, Dr. Deborah, and Dr. Beverly. Good morning to you guys.
I made it last night.
Good morning, Sister Yvette.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Beverly never heard of the bunny story either. So we got number 3. Did we do evoke emotion? That's what we just did.
Yes, we just did. Yeah.
Number 4. To create hope.
How many stories do we know to create hope? This man was in the belly of the beast. Okay. There's no way he's going to get out.
Absolutely. And also, if you think about the entire the President Obama's campaign, it was illustrating so many stories. It was evoking a movement of hope.
He even wrote a book, The Audacity of Hope. It was his biography up until that point of his life. I read the book. It was a very compelling book.
Yes, I read it too.
Yes. Even his stories about having to switch from one college to the next college and to that college, to Rice. I was like, dang, how many schools you go to, G? But he had hope.
Good morning, Miss Vivian. Thank you for joining us this morning. So storytelling is important to help create hope. It helps to create hope. It also created a movement. I'm not sure if that's on our list.
We can. Yes, we can get that done. It can illustrate a point, a rallying point. And I think that's one of the points later. Actually, we'll get to that.
Okay. Number 5, it can communicate beliefs.
Believe this way because
right. And all of those stories of hope, when I think of belief and hope, I think of also faith. And the stories, the biblical stories that were written to help communicate what faith is, the examples of Noah, of David, of Moses, those were to solidify and further communicate what we believe and why.
Yes. So we've gone through 5 already. Lisa and I came up with 10 today. So let's recap the 5 we came up with, please. He's talking about the 10 reasons why storytelling is important.
Number 1, to share information.
Doing it with a story is more compelling and sticks.
Absolutely. Number 2,
sharing information. Express values. Number 2 is expressing values.
Emily, thank you for joining us. Number 3, to evoke emotion. Number 4, to create hope. To bring people together. Melissa says, I love storytelling. Of course you do. Thank you, Miss Vivian. I don't know what is, Brittany, but good morning. I don't know. So we've got up to 5. Number 5 is to communicate beliefs. Number 6
is to sell. Okay. Again, I often say on here, and I still believe it, the 2 most important skills of life that have more to do with your happiness or sadness, success or failure, prosperity or poverty than any other skills. The ability to communicate, to articulate the thoughts in a way that others can understand it, and the ability to sell. And I look at sell as to help people to get the goods and services that they want or need. That's how I look at selling, to help people to get the goods and services that they want or need. Okay. So many people conflate selling with talking people into things, or conflate selling with conning, or to conflate selling with persuading. Those are all separate things. And people who say anything like, and it's just it's a bane to me. It's an irk to me. Well, Brian, I could sell anything to anybody. Okay, that's not a salesperson. That is a con man. Okay. Well, Brian, you just a natural born salesperson. You're discrediting my diligence and willingness to learn about my craft. Okay, when you say stuff like that. Selling is the most honorable profession. It is the oldest profession. The oldest profession. Now, some people think the oldest profession was prostitution, but that's a subset of selling. Okay. Right?
Although the commodity has been known to sell itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, because now it's true you don't have to talk people into buying it. Okay. And that's not what selling is. Okay. If you think that's what selling is, you don't understand the game yet. Okay. But to sell is easier to sell through a story. Okay. To sell through a story.
How your life will be better, how you will feel, how you will look, all of those things are selling.
And you really can't sell today effectively without stories with an S.
Absolutely.
More than one story.
Absolutely.
They need to know your story, because why should I listen to you at all? Okay. And a story of how to use what you're offering.
Absolutely. Number 7, to persuade.
Now, stories can be used to persuade, to get someone along with your way of thinking, to come along with your ideas, to persuade them to take an action that you want them to.
And oftentimes to help illustrate a point that they were not otherwise inclined to understand.
Mhm.
Sometimes by telling the story and taking some of the personal emotion out of it and putting some variables in, you can help someone to see another side of the point.
There's this great book called How to Argue and Win Every Time by Jerry Spence, who was a great, great lawyer in this country. And he had to argue on behalf of saving a forest one time, saving the trees in the forest. And in court, when the guy was bringing him up, it goes, he had an opportunity to speak in front of some audience. And they said, this is another one of those liberal tree huggers who are always trying to do this and they get in the way of progress. Here he is, Jerry Spence, gave a horrible intro like that, called him a liberal tree hugger. And he says, I actually do love trees. One of my favorite trees, her name is Helen. Okay. And I do hug Helen, and Helen hugs me back, and Helen talks to me about how the breeze goes through her leaves. And he told a compelling story. And the people who were already inclined not to like him, they liked the story about his tree, Helen.
He humanized.
He humanized the tree, gave it a name and everything.
Today,
I'm going to argue that. Go ahead, baby.
Today, in a talk that I am giving, I am sharing the story of the tiniest little acorn.
Yes, Lisa's giving a talk at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm. And that is important, is because everyone may have not been in the same subset of experiences that I went through in my life. However, all of us have been in some situation where we felt isolated, where we felt oppressed, where we felt alone. And the story of the tiniest little acorn helps to illustrate in such a way that instead of dividing, it brings us together.
Yes, Beverly, you can learn a lot from a tree. That's true. And Lisa's beautiful children's story, not just a children's story called The Tiniest Little Acorn, they do have a wise old tree as a character in the story. She has it's a book called The Tiniest Little Acorn, written by Lisa Santiago.
Absolutely.
You have a picture of the cover?
Number 8. Yeah.
If you have a picture of the cover, I'd love to show it.
I don't have it handy, honey.
Okay, no problem. Number 8 is to entertain. Why we watch movies, we watch TV shows to be entertained. Now, here's the funny thing about entertaining stories. We'll watch a story or a movie to be entertained, even if we don't necessarily like the show. Okay, we don't even have to like the show. We don't even have to like the movie, but we'll still get engrossed in the story of it. Okay, I saw a stat that more than 70% of the television people watch, they don't even like. Okay, they'll watch this show, but don't even like this show. Okay, it's just interesting to me. But to be entertained, here's another selling thing here. Now, this is something I teach in my trainings. I'm giving it to you guys for free. Taking a moment here. Think along with me. Those of you who just think with me. What is the highest paying profession on average in the United States? What profession pays more on average than any other profession in this country? Just think a moment about that. What do you believe is the single highest paying profession in our country? Do you have a guess? Well, I'll tell you what it is. The single highest paying profession in our nation is professional athlete. Basketball, baseball, football players. They earn more on average than any other profession in our nation. Basketball players, the average NBA player makes $5.5 million. There's 15 players on the team. The guys that only get in the game, if you average it out, the average player makes about $5.5 million per season, and the season lasts about 7 months. Okay, come on now. Pretty good gig if you can get it. The second highest paying profession on average in our nation. Yes, really, professional athletes. No old raisin. I don't know that's probably the story. The second highest paying profession on average in our nation, guess what that is? Is actually actors and actresses. On average, actors and actresses earn more money than any other profession in our country, save for professional athletes. Yes. Well, professional athletes in general, I'm talking about. Yes, and baseball players do make more. And baseball players and NBA players are guaranteed. That's why they both make more than football players' contracts, because their contracts are not guaranteed. But anyway, but an athlete in just general, they make the most. But the second highest paying profession is actors and actresses. A bit player on a sitcom who delivers a package weekly regularly is going to make $85,000, $95,000 per week. Okay. Some actors get 20 million or more per movie. Now there are a lot of broke actors and actresses too. That's what they call waiters in Hollywood. Okay. Or servers now. But still, on average, actresses and actors make the second most money. And the third highest paying profession on average in our nation is sales. Sales. Airplanes to pencils. Sales. CEOs got their job most of the time through sales. Most of the corporate leaders came through sales. Sales on average is the third highest paying profession in our nation. And isn't it interesting that the three highest paying professions in our nation can all fit into the same category? They all can fit under the same category, and that category is really the entertainment field. The entertainment field. Watching the game, watching the movie, being presented to. When you're offering your services, you must get yourself into the mindset that you are just as much a performer as a professional actor or actress. And you should perform your work as if you were great at it, as if you were performing your work, doing a presentation just like an actor or actress. Learn your lines, do your thing. Hopefully that bless somebody with something. Did anybody get anything out of that lesson?
Shayna says it's news to her ears.
Good.
We'll be right back in just a moment after this a little excerpt.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Brian McNeill, the sales confidence coach. And I come here to bring what I believe is the most essential thing that an entrepreneur must be able to answer. The most essential question. That's what this video is about. This video is called The Most Essential Question. Now, if you're endeavoring to be an entrepreneur, if you're in business, if you have something to offer the world, you have something to sell, the essential question that you must answer is, what problems are solved by you and your services? What problems are solved by you and your products? Can you answer that question simply? Can you answer that question in a way that anyone who hears your answer can understand it? Can you answer the question of what problems are solved because of you and your services? Can you answer that question in a way that you don't have to use industry jargon and it doesn't require the person that heard your answer to have an in-depth knowledge of what you do in order for them to understand it? Can you answer that question simply? What problems are solved by you and your services? There used to be an adage in this country, and the adage went, to succeed in business, find a hole and fill it. And if you just understand what that meant, that basically find out where their people have a need and provide for them that need. And then you can succeed in business. If you fill that hole, if you provide for them that need. I think that's still a bit true. However, you still have to sell and market. And the key question today, in my opinion, in the sales confidence coach's opinion, is what problems are solved by you and your services? Note how I'm wording this, because you, entrepreneur, you, my entrepreneurial friend, are a part of your services, and you're the biggest part of your services. So please include yourself. What problems are solved because you exist doing this thing that you're endeavoring to do for a business? Is there somebody that's healed in some way? Is there someone whose lives is improved in some kind of a way because of what you do? What problems are solved by you and your services. You must be able to knock that question out of the park. That you have to have a home run answer to that question of what problems are solved by you and your services. If you cannot successfully answer that question, it's going to be difficult for you to sell yourself and your services. So work on that. Again, my name is Brian McNeill. I am the sales confidence coach, and this is the most essential question that entrepreneurs must be able to ask and answer for themselves.
Hopefully that video blessed someone too. Good morning again. Good morning. Good morning. Nuggets. That's right, Shayna. Nuggets. A mindset to solve a problem. That's right. What about things that don't technically? What about makeup? Okay. What about nail polish? Does nail polish solve a problem?
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't just look pretty.
Okay, what problems are solved?
The nail polish strengthens your nails.
It strengthens your nails. Okay, that does solve a problem. What about something that like for example, more than one pair of black high heel shoes? Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you do that?
Because you only need one pair of black high heel shoes.
No, you don't. And there's different heights. There's different structures. There's different shapes.
So they all solve a different problem?
Yes. They all solve a different problem. I mean, I can't even believe you would say that. Like,
okay, what problem is solved by fashion in general? Just fashion?
Fashion sets you apart. Fashion establishes you as an individual. Fashion helps to help people identify who and what you are. Your fashion is bold. Your fashion is somber. Your fashion is conservative, right? All of those different things. So yeah, fashion boosts your confidence. That's right, Jana. Absolutely.
Yes, makeup solves problems and hairstyles as well. Yeah. Okay.
Makeup could cover up blemishes. It could also protect your skin from the elements.
It did not take much creativity for you guys to come up with answers to why is nail polish and more than one pair of high heel shoes
and hair solve the problem.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What problem solved by hair?
So right now, the reason why I made this little hair piece is because my hair, I am growing my hair, but it's at that middle length that I would rather cut it than to wear it at the length that it's at.
Okay.
So I fast forwarded it by creating the little piece that is the length that I'm growing it to, so I don't have to wait for the length.
So you created the look and the hair piece that you have on your head right now.
Yeah, created it last night.
You created it last night.
I did a crochet. It's a crochet on a little piece of netting, and then I did a lot of crochets. Like individual hairs are on there, and then I put clips around the outside, and then you just clip it.
Really gonna?
No, I'm not gonna take it off. I'm just telling you how it works. I already have somebody who wants me to make them one. I said, listen, this is not another business.
Listen, if you don't have hair and you want hair, go buy some.
Well, I did. That was the other thing is I did buy some hair. I bought like 4 wigs because I wanted 4 different styles, and they haven't come in the mail.
Melissa says, fashion makes you feel good. And that is important too. That is one of the main reasons why people spend any money is to feel better.
Thank you, Shayna. She said it looks so natural. I love it. Thank you. That was the plan, but it is not natural. It's a piece and it's synthetic, and I made it in like an hour last night.
So we've done 8 of the 10 that we came up with, I think. Or did we do all 10?
No, we did 8. We did 8. Number 9.
It's unify.
TY.
Stories can unify.
Absolutely.
We're from this part of the country. We've been through this shared experience. We can tell a similar story. Mm-hmm. And if you can tell a similar story, that's a reason for you to connect.
Absolutely.
It's a reason for you to unify.
Another one that we didn't have on there, aside from unify, is it also helps to bring about pride.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to bring about pride.
More came to my mind too, since we've been sitting here talking, more than just the 10 we came up with.
Yeah. Stories definitely unify. Absolutely. We realize how much more we are the same than we are different. Amen. In stories. And I think that that's also how stories can be used to solve problems, particularly when there's division. When you turn the issue into a story and you take out the personal characters, but you put in the sentiments and the issues, then people can often see independently of how they might feel about that person or that person or that person, what they might think of a situation. Converse is also true though, meaning that sometimes when a story becomes more personal, even if it was the antithesis of what you thought that you believed, you find that you can learn how to believe it. I'm thinking about specifically, and I can't remember which president it was or politician, they were staunchly against homosexuality, staunchly, like vehemently negative and oppressive. And then their daughter was gay. Dick Cheney. And because of the twist in that story, right? What happened is now it's not just a faceless person who I believe is, horrible. It's the face of my daughter. It's my daughter.
Yes.
Now I've got to look at this differently. And that can unify. What
a story to come up with there.
The end justify the means. I think it actually brought some people to the table that there would have been nothing that could convince them that they could accept this premise.
He was actively creating laws to get them out of the military, so they can't marry. Everything anti.
Absolutely.
But your daughter.
But the story brought it close. the story changed and it brought it close. And I think that has happened not only with people who found family members who they had to embrace, right? It has also happened in some racial situations where now a grandchild is born. Now I was against this race, I was against this whole thing, but now there is a brown child who looks like me.
Yeah.
Right? They're part of me. I can't hate that as much.
Yeah, hard to be anti your family, your child. There's grandbaby. Leanne says, you feel like you know where each other's coming from. Something in common. Good morning, Brother William. How you doing?
Good morning, Bill. And that's right, Shanna. It took a twist.
Yeah.
It took a twist. And sometimes those plot twists, those story twists are exactly what's necessary to help to persuade someone, particularly for the greater good.
Plot twists also, think about movies. They make the movie better. They make the story better.
Absolutely. Sometimes the whole story is about the twist, like the one that we're watching right now.
For Life.
The
TV series. Twist. Yeah, that plot twist.
The whole story is about the twist.
You're hopeful this will happen, and then they throw a monkey wrench in the situation.
Absolutely. So today at 11 a.m. on the Empowerment Network, right here on the Empowerment Duo page, is a one-word conversations, and the word of the day is start. And Bill Brown's special guest is Christy Simmons. And we're excited to tune in. At 11, I will actually be giving a presentation to an international
global summit. Lisa's going to speak at the global summit today at 11. Interesting, William Brown's word of the day is start to me. Yesterday, I had a conversation with I think it was more ministry than client work, but they were talking about how they're tired of having to keep starting over. I'm tired of just always feels like I'm starting over again, and I'm starting over. And I said to them, very often when people are sick of starting over, one of the ways to fix that is to just stop quitting. Stop quitting so much. Stop quitting stuff. If you're sick of starting over, stop quitting so much.
But understand that there is no shame in starting over.
There's no shame in it. Yes.
There's no shame in starting over. Sometimes life will come at you on all sides and you have to take a knee. And a knee is a pause. It's not a quit. A knee is a hold on, I gotta catch my breath.
The 4 or 5 times in my business where I had to stop doing my business and take a job, okay, and get back into it. I remember the last one because I still wanted to do this so badly, but I needed stability like now. Now, I don't need stability in my life anymore. I don't care about stability anymore. Neither does my wife. We care much more about opportunity, of being free to do what we do, and opportunity to be successful. We'll take our swings, okay? And sometimes we'll miss.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that is a lack of desire for stability. It is just a higher tolerance for risk.
Well, and a greater desire for opportunity than stability.
Absolutely.
I think stability matters, and if you want as much of it as you can get. But
no, I corrected you because sometimes I think you just throw stability. Wow, we don't need that.
You want as much of it as you can get, but given a choice of opportunity or stability, I choose the opportunity. That's how I look at it.
I don't completely choose opportunity over stability. However, when I'm weighing out risks, I do have a high tolerance for risk, so it could balance with going towards an opportunity. But there's a little bit more balance in there. Not no tomatoes or tomatoes.
I think you said the same thing I did. So, and I've been around you long enough to know how you feel about that.
Oh, how I feel about you is what often helps me to be able to accept even higher risk.
Which is a compliment to me, because you're willing to. I take that as a compliment.
You should.
Because you're willing to accept more risk because you have confidence and faith that I'll deliver.
And because I have confidence and faith in the importance of supporting you.
Yeah. Either way.
No, either way.
It is either way. It is either way. Because it doesn't matter. The thing is, we still got to go do our stuff. Okay. Yes. We still got to do our stuff. So do we get to 10?
Yes. I think we got to 10. Oh, no. Number 10
is to lead.
Storytelling is a great tool in leadership.
The effective leader, has to be able to articulate the vision of where we're going. And you do that in a story and make sure that everyone understands the story.
And comes along with you in that storytelling process.
Yes, that's the way to do it. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're about. President Obama, we're about this, and this. This is the story of what I see. Joseph R. Biden, bringing that stuff back together, building back together better, building back better. The story, the unifying story. Okay. And for those who hear that story or see that vision with that person, they can be compelled to run with it or run towards it. William Brown, what is he saying?
He said, I have a slightly different take. Many times when we're against something, it is not the thing or the person or the story. It's about fighting a belief pattern. Absolutely. Absolutely.
When more information or story changes,
your belief pattern changed. Absolutely. And I think that's what happened in the story that we were illustrating with the two scenarios, one being race and the other being sexuality.
Mm-hmm. Let's delve into this a little bit more here. He believes that we're not arguing against the thing or the person or the story, but it's fighting the belief pattern.
Well, that's what happened. It's worn by the thing, right? It was worn by the person. When something that you're dealing with, it is I don't know if nebulous is the right word, is if it's not attached to a person, if there's no face to it,
right,
then you can hate that thing. And even if you're as a person who would otherwise be considered humane or reasonable, if there's no face, if there's no personal face attached to it, and it goes against your beliefs, right, then you can hate it vehemently.
Keep it hate too.
And you can keep that hate. Absolutely, you can keep that hate. But when it's humanized,
Like my tree Helen.
like your tree Helen,
Yes.
when it's humanized, it then becomes more difficult to express that hatred without seeming either unreasonable, without seeming human, without seeming tolerant, patient, understanding, or educated.
Where's our Melissa? Melissa Price, are you still here? Go to comments, please. Melissa Price, you still here? You know, I told a story a couple of weeks ago about the 3 trees. The story I told about the 3 trees. And the point of the story is, you know, even though your life may not look like you wanted to at first, you can actually ultimately get what you really wanted.
Right.
Okay, even though it may not look. And when I told that story on here, Melissa Price made a comment. That's my new favorite story of yours, Paul B. Her new favorite story. Now, why was that story her new favorite story? Is it the message? Is it the way the story was told? Why?
It's probably all of those things. It's probably all of the above. That I think that story illustrates for us that things are not always as they seem. I think that story, much like the story of you don't know, is this good or is this bad? That both of those stories illustrate that it is very easy to make an assessment of something based on what you think is good or bad, what you think is right or wrong, but that time will show that you don't know.
That's right.
Dr. Deborah says, yes, no matter what the wrong is, when you add a face to the hate, it becomes more difficult.
Right.
I think so. I think it becomes more difficult
face,
to reasonably.
Name,
mm-hmm.
And if you spend any time around that person,
Or a life death situation. Those are things that can also change. I remember the illustration. Oh my God, I'm aging myself. All in the family. My goodness. Leanne says right back to the Cheney example with that, Lisa, humanizing a previously hated thing, paradigm, belief, etc., shifts perception and even beliefs.
It definitely did for him, because during the debates, when someone brought it up, they brought it up respectfully, but he was in a position that he had to defend that. So he had to completely change his whole attitude. He was like, well, I thank you for thinking of my daughter.
Yeah.
And yes, she's great. And thank you guys. And he wanted to mouse up. He wasn't bombastic anymore. He was bombastic about other stuff. But when you had to talk about your gay daughter,
after all the hateful things that you said, you know,
he had to completely change his tone. He had to check his tone.
Absolutely. So it's time for the songs, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do our songs, the greeting songs. Now, again, this show is called Let's Talk About It. We talk about 3 things, 3 areas primarily: personal conversations,
business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
Put a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
A little bit of shenanigans. And we've been doing a lot of what I consider anyway, business information kind of things. But this is more life application information today, I believe.
I think it's business. I actually brought it up because I was preparing for my talk today. And I think that the more successful businesses, particularly coaches, that's the people that I coach, right, are the ones that are helping people with life, right? That's what's happening right now. People helping people with life. It's freezing rain.
You can see the rain freezing.
I don't care. Nothing about the outside.
You're not going outside?
No, never. June. I'll go outside in June. Going outside, boy. I got Instacart.
We're gonna do that
Amazon.
today. We're gonna do some
never going outside.
or
DoorDash
or something.
But I can't. I have put myself on a DoorDash budget.
You'll be on DoorDash budget.
That's fine as long as you still have your contribution for our savings goal. But I put myself on a DoorDash budget. And yesterday, you think you slick. Yesterday, you talk about, well, I'm going to get Chinese food. You out, you going to pick it up. That meant that who paying for it? I didn't have that in my budget to pay for no Chinese food. So I'm going to have to transfer it back out of your account.
Are you kidding me? I've been paying bills out of my account. You are in deficit because you're not paying any bills.
That's exactly right. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. I don't know how many times I got to explain that to you.
You're not paying nothing.
No, I'm not. I have no intention of it. My money is not for bills.
Oh, my God.
Watch my money grow. Just watch it in a pile.
Man, Dr. Beverly, come get your girl. Anyway, well, one of the things we've been
$12.18 yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Chinese food.
So anyway, the show's been going since October of 2016, and some of you guys have been rocking with us for years. Some of you guys are consistent contributors. This show works not at all unless you guys contribute. So thank you. And we thank you with a greeting song. Like, for example, up first is Miss Brittany Thomas.
That's right. And if you're listening to us on the podcast and you want to be a part of this show live, just come on over to Facebook at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time on the Empowerment Duo page.
Thank you. We need to keep saying that commercial.
Absolutely. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Brittany Thomas. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Brittany. It's your time. It's your time. Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Brittany Thomas. I'm hoping that you are well, Miss Brittany.
And I hope that you are inside as well. Well and inside, Dr. Deborah, healing and deliverance coach.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
Dr. Deborah is an amazing content contributor right here on the Empowerment Network on the Empowerment Duo page, and her programming is at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. You want to check it out. This month has been bomb. We got one more show for Dr. Deborah in the month of February. What's love got to do with it? You need to tune in 8:30 on Tuesdays. Dr. Beverly.
Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. How you doing?
Morning. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us.
Our friend Yvette is here. Dear Yvette. Dear Yvette. Dear Yvette.
Dear Yvette.
Good morning, Miss Yvette Goodrich. How you doing this morning? Shana, you got to come more often, and we'll develop a song for you. Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. How you doing?
Good morning, Miss Phyllis, and Miss Vivian's here. Vivian Reed is here, and now the show can go on. Oh.
Melissa's home. Now it's time for us to sing our song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price.
Good morning, Melissa. Thank you for joining us today.
Shamrika, don't we have to say about the Benjamins, baby? Tell me about the Benjamins, baby. Shamrika right. Crawford is here. How you doing?
Shamrika will be with us on the show on Saturday at 4 p.m. with her book,
Children Love Money.
They just don't understand it.
Just don't understand it. We are so excited about that book. And this is going to be the first time, I believe, that Shamrika is taking part in one of our showcases.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shamrika, Myra Foster, Village King, Kelly Little. We are going to have
in the showcase before something.
Yeah,
children's book last year.
Children's book in 18.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've been doing this for a little minute.
17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's Leanne. It's Leanne.
Time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone. Good morning, Miss Leanne Cannon. How you doing? Leanne, we love when you swing through.
Absolutely.
Our friend William Brown is here, and good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Good morning to our friend Bill. How you doing, man?
Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. We're so grateful.
The songs that we have done this morning are people that are consistent contributors to this show.
Mhm.
They make these wheels turn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shannon says, yes, I'll be tuning in more often. I enjoyed your show. Thank you. Thank
Shannon,
you.
your contributions help make the show better.
Absolutely. Shanrika will also be on One Word Conversation this Saturday at 11 a.m. And her word is wealth. What a wonderful word for Shanrika. Absolutely.
What? She's going to be on the Bill show too? Awesome, awesome. I want to be a champion for Sister Shanrika because I believe in her book so much and her message. I believe in it so much.
Absolutely. Now, Beverly said it's not cold. It has a not cold out here. So it's not cold out there. I don't know if that's what you meant, but I'm sure it's cold out there, but I'm not ever going to find out. I probably won't even know.
I am disappointed it's cold outside because even though I have a space heater, I got some new sticks, man. I got me some new cigars. And I want to be outside smoking my cigar, and I don't want to be too cold.
Nope, not going to.
I'll probably miss today. It means tomorrow I'll be horny for a cigar. Okay.
Oh, what an illustration.
Baby, don't act like it's the first time you heard that before.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So today is still Thursday. It's a work day. Okay.
It is a very busy work day, actually. I have
we forgot to mention this other thing too. Lisa is going to give a global summit talk today at 11, which is a big deal, actually. It's a really big deal. But tonight at 6:30, Lisa and I, we're going to be interviewed as.
I don't know what we're being interviewed.
Are we giving a talk? What are we doing?
No,
on a panel?
I don't know what your interpretation.
I don't know what it is. We're supposed to be something about couples working together.
Yeah.
Tonight at 6:30.
Yeah. I think that's just it.
So we might just be attending?
I think so.
No. Anyway. I thought we had to work tonight. Well, I'm glad we don't then. Anyway, good.
I was saying that out here has a not cold label on it. Talk to Texas. Horrible. It is cold out there. My window looks freezing, but again.
The rain looks like it's freezing rain to me. Okay.
Yeah.
I got leftovers from yesterday, so I'm excited about that.
You got leftovers?
That's going to be my breakfast, yes.
I don't have any leftovers.
You got no breakfast then?
I have food in the refrigerator.
What a blessing. What a blessing. One of these days this week, Lisa and I, we was giving thanks for a meal we were about to take, and that grace prayer turned into a long old prayer.
It turned into one of those prayers. You don't want nobody to pray when you hungry. But honey, I'm glad we were on one accord because we just had to pray.
We had to get it out. We were grateful, for the food and for the provisions for the food and the home and each other.
And the thermostat and the fireplace and the kitchen and the roof over your head. Oh my goodness.
Maybe some of you guys can relate to that. But we went in on the prayer.
Beverly says, when are y'all going to do a food segment related to business? Well, I do
a food segment related to business.
Yeah, I do food all the time. Well, not all the time.
You used to.
Yeah, I do cooking. Like I love to do little cooking videos or whatever. But food segment related to business, we're not in the food business, so we
could have a guest that does.
Yeah, I guess. Leanne says she's going to be interviewed tonight on Formula to Freedom. That's bit.ly/Formula to Freedom. Going to talk about how your body listens to your brain. Be careful what you say to yourself. Amen. And it'll be health related.
That's interesting. Your body listens to your brain.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And good morning, Diva Catrice.
Good morning, Catrice. Not only does your body listen to your brain, well, it's the same thing because I am very interested in thoughts like that, but I'm also interested in just how your physiology impacts your mood. Okay. Like when you sit slumped over, next thing you know, you're tired and you don't feel like doing anything. But if you sit upright, you feel energized and ready to go. Just that simple physiological difference causes you to feel different.
Absolutely. we were always told, get up, wash your face, and put some clothes on when you don't feel well, right? Go sit outside when you don't
Put
feel
some sunshine
well.
on your
Put
face.
some sun on your face, because the physiology is what's going to make a difference. It's also why I have a very close friend who might be watching. I fuss at her because if she's not going anywhere, she's not talking to anyone or going out, she won't put her face on and she won't get dressed, and she'll just stay how she just woke up, wash your face or whatever. But it's important, even if you are the only one looking at you, that you are able to see yourself confidently and in a happy, in a positive way. If you see yourself in a positive way, I realize that sometimes on the weekend I actually lose time because I over allow myself to be in this unproductive mode, and it makes a difference.
I knew a lady. She told me this story about. She went through a season of her life where she wasn't doing her hair at all. She was just throwing a baseball cap and some basketball shorts and go out and t-shirt. Okay, this woman, she went through a season because she wasn't feeling real well about herself, and she was in ministry, by the way. She was just throwing a baseball cap and some shorts, basketball shorts, not even sexy shorts, like basketball shorts on a woman and a t-shirt, and go about her errands and go back home as fast as she could. Like, she didn't want to be seen. She didn't want to do her hair. She didn't want to put on makeup. She wasn't happy. Yeah. Okay. But when she took off the baseball cap and did her hair, it caused her to do the rest of her body too, and she came back to herself.
Absolutely. Going back to Leanne's point, when you feel good, you smile. But when you smile, you will feel good too. It works both ways. Yes. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. But we're getting ready to get out of here. Make sure that you tune in to the Empowerment Network on the Empowerment Duo page right here at 10 a.m. Coffee Time with Coach Ja. And following him, you have the word START on One Word Conversations with Bill Brown. Today is Thursday, so at noon, don't forget to come back for some heart-to-heart conversations with Stephanie. We love you guys, and